Ohio side. Yes.
All right, friends, we are live this evening. It's a hot evening here in Huntington, but the air conditioning is working, and so it's all good. Tori, would you like to bench lift, please? It's hot, but it's Shabbat, and we're here. We are here.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. Together, as their brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel that have kindled the light, so may we in our day be among those who kindle light.
Sorry.
Get this lit first, which is the thing of my existence. That, that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'ner shel Shabbat.
Man.
Good job.
Page 9, let's read responsively. Page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder for the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and benefit overall our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Let's continue welcoming Shabbat on page 20. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad. Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Ligrat Shabbat Lechu v'necha. Ki mekor ha'bracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha. Kumitzi mitoch afecha. Rav lachach shevet b'yemecha b'cha. V'hu yachamol alai chemla. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Itnari me'afar kumi. Livshi b'gdei tifarte chami. Al yad b'nishai beit alachmi. Korva el nafshi ge'ala. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Itorari, ki ba'orek kumi ori, ori, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alach nigla, lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Lo tevoshi v'lo tikolmi. Mahatish tochachi matehembi. Bach yechesu ani ani. V'nihib netayir al tila. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. V'hayu l'shimsa shohosayich. V'rahachaku kol mevalayich. Yasis alayich Elohayich. Ki himsos chatan al kala, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Minus bo tifrotzi, Biet Adonai taritzi, al yahadish ben partzi, b'ni hismecha v'nagila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela, boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha ufsohola, tochem unei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Page 22, the Psalm for Shabbat. Let's read the outdented paragraph together in English. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It's good to praise Adonai, sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai! How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadik katamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanot yiskeh shetulim beveit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. O Jenuhu b'seifa d'sheni v'ra'ananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai Suri velo avlatabo. Page 24. We'll welcome the angels who come to spend Shabbat with us. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Please rise, page 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. Let's read together on 147 in the middle. Adonai, your majesties proclaim are the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish. But your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu uvkumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, Li'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu v'yorech yameinu v'yorech yameinu uvehem nege yomam v'layla v'ahavat techal tasim mimenu li'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta ha'et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meodecha, v'hayu advarim ha'eleh, asher anochi Mitzavecha, Hayom Alavavecha, Vishinantam Levanecha, Vidibarta Bam, Vishivtecha Vektecha, Uvlektecha Vaderech, Uveshokbecha Uvkumecha, Uvshartam Leohot Al Yadecha, Vehayu Letotafot Beinemecha. Uchtatam al mezuzot beitecha uvihi sharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 151, let's read responsibly. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to hold the soul.
When will redemption come?
We abandon everyone who thinks for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn of God's presence in these time and events, so we celebrate this power that makes freedom.
152 at the top. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nohora tehilot, v'hosei feheleh, malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe, ze'eli anu v'yamruhu, Adonai yimloch li'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, u'ga'alom yet chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of 153. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Let's read together in English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Yerushalayim and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Turn the page to 154. Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם בגדולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם בגדולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם בגדולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם בגדולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. שבת ויהי נפש. שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם בגדולם. Please rise, page 155 and following, the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור הנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, Magin Avraham, Yisrat Sarah, Anta Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayim Timatarav L'Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayim Merachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Hasurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Lichamocha Ba'al Umido Meherach, Melech Mimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata l'chayot mitim, Baruch ata Adonai, v'chayei ha'metim. continue on page 150. 160 in the middle. 160 in the middle. And let's read this paragraph together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Page 163 at the top. Let's read responsively and offer a little bit of gratitude, a little bit of hoda'ah and some thanksgiving. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. And let's close out our Amidah, as always, with a prayer for peace. In the evening, it's Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, v'shalom. Page 253 in the middle, one of the prayers for healing. This one is the Mishaberach, middle of page 253. Mishaberach Ahavotenu Mekor habracha Lahimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Pages 258 and 259, the prayers of our community. And at the top of 258, Diane, would you read the prayer for our congregation?
Yes. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Maury, the prayer for our country, please.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen. Shalom, shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu, Ovayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'Golo. Barech et Medinat Yisrael. Reishit Tzmichat Gulatenu. Hagein Aleha B'Yifrat Chasdecha. Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha. Ushlach Orcha V'Amitcha V'Rarsheha Sareha B'Yotzeha. V'Taknein Be'etzah Tova Milfanecha. V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz. V'Simchat Olam Liyoshveha. V'Nomar. Amen. David, would you read that in English, please?
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Amen.
Amen. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. This week's Parsha is Parshat Re'eh. And again, Moshe is continuing his final lectures. And he points out to the children of Israel that life has blessings and curses. Now, people will grab their tzitzit and will say, well, Rabbi, we don't literally believe in blessings and curses. How? You're right, we don't. And even back then, they didn't. Biblical Hebrew doesn't have a word for consequences. So blessings and curses were consequences. If you follow God's law, there will be blessings, also meaning positive consequences. And if you don't, negative consequences. All right, so let's stop trying to read the Bible literally so that we can discount large portions of it and just start reading it as it was probably understood. All right, our actions have consequences. Everything we do has a consequence. And what we do and how we act impacts not only our lives, but the lives of those around us. Moshe says, if you want better consequences, follow the mitzvot, right? They will help you have meaningful lives, right? And it's not all about the rituals. Moshe is not really worried about ritual. He's worried about the interaction between human beings and how that happens. He says, when you enter the land, destroy all the sites of idol worship and offer your sacrifices, your tithes, and your gifts only in the places that God chooses. And he has a strange idea that comes up. He says, you can eat meat, right? You can eat meat. Then this goes back to the old idea that we were not meant to eat, we were meant to be vegetarians, but because we will crave a craving, as Moshe puts it, ta'aveh nafshecha, that your souls will crave this. And the idea of craving in the Bible is not a positive thing. It's not like you're hungry for meat, you will crave it. And Moshe says you can eat it, but you can't have the blood. That belongs to God. And it then goes on to restate the laws of kashrut. We get the third time of not boiling a kid in its mother's milk, although there's some question about whether that is meant to be read literally. And then there's a review of the permitted foods that we're allowed to eat. These, it's the second or third time we've been hearing these, so they must be important according to Moshe. He says, do not add or subtract from the mitzvot. Right? If you come up with something that you think is really, really nifty, you don't add it. And if there's something that you think is really meaningless, you can't subtract it. Right? The mitzvot are one complete package. He also says at that point, don't follow the religion of others. You have your own religion. You don't need to go looking at your neighbors and see what they're doing. And people will try to convert you. People will try to pull you away, saying, your religion is this, your religion is that, ours is this, ours is that. He says, even your family members might try this. He says, and don't follow. He then talks about tithing, which is 1/10 of your income, and it's either produce or cash, right? You could give to the temple in Jerusalem or to the priest 10% of your product, or cash. You can take 10% and spend it in ultimately Jerusalem during the festival celebrations. Every third year, your tithe, the entire tithe goes to the Levite, the orphan, the widow, and the immigrant to help them survive. And every 7th year, all debts are forgiven. And so, again, this is a lot of social action here, right? Every third year, you give your entire tithe not to the priests, but to the Levites who have no land, to the orphans, the widows, and the immigrants, those who are without protection. And then near the end of the parsha, he says, regarding the poor, do not harden your hearts, right? And he uses the idea of a clenched fist, right? Open your hands to the poor. Don't clench your fist. Open your hand and God will bless. Whatever you give to the poor, you will never suffer because you gave to the poor. You will not miss it. God will take care of you, right? The poor will always be with us, the Torah says, but we have to take care of them. The Hebrew slave comes up and he is freed after 7 years. Now, a Hebrew slave was more of an indentured servant, somebody, if you hurt someone or stole someone and had to make recompense and you didn't have the money, they would put you into servitude. And you could serve up to 7 years or up through 6 years. When the Hebrew slave was released, they didn't go away empty-handed. They went out with some clothes, some food, some money. And if a Hebrew slave wished to remain in the household, there was a bit of a ritual that the owner or the household, the head of the house, would take the Hebrew slave to the front door, put his ear on the mezuzah, on the doorpost, and drive an awl through it, thus marking him as a permanent slave. And then the Torah ends, the portion ends with a restatement of the pilgrimage festivals, the Shalosh Regalim, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. There are 55 new mitzvot in this week's parsha. For a book of the Torah that does a lot of reminiscing and recounting the past, there are a lot of new mitzvot to be had. There were 17 positive mitzvot and 38 negative, bringing our total this week to 55. And that's your parsha in a nutshell. On Sunday evening, after we're done celebrating with Max, the new month begins. And it's the last new month before the new year. It's the month of Elul. And it's a very important month. There are no major celebrations or observances other than Shabbat. And it's a month of self-discovery and self-evaluation. It's a time for us to think about who we are and where we are. And are we who and where we want to be? And one thing that we notice is that self-reflection, if it's done correct, if it's true self-reflection, is very difficult. We don't like to look at ourselves deeply, right? We don't like to look at our faults or our foibles. Are we who we are? Are we who we want to be? And are we physically where we want to be? Are we emotionally where we want to be? Are we spiritually where we want to be? And what do we need to do to change that? Elul is about a journey. And it's not just moving from the first of Elul to Rosh Hashanah. And we're not interested in the destination. We would like to be somewhere, but it's more of a spiritual journey. It's more of where do we want to be, not necessarily in our physical location, and who do we want to be, not necessarily in our appearance, but spiritually, who and where do we want to be. And the rabbis take this idea of Elul being a journey from the story of Abraham. When we first meet Abraham back in Genesis, he's told, Lech lecha, you go. Me artzecha, mi modlecha, mi beit avicha, el haaretz asher areka. God says, you go. And go from your land, from your native land, from the house of your birth or the place of your birth, from your father's house to the land that I will show you. And usually when we're going on a journey, we expect to know that there's a specific destination. And in the case of Abraham, there wasn't. Go to the land that I will show you. But you have to leave some very specific places. The place of your birth, or your homeland, the place of your birth, and your father's house. You have to give up the things that made you who you are so that you could be someone better. So the place of departure is what's important in Elul. And this comes from a Hasidic idea that the command to Abraham is for each of us, especially in the month of Elul, to go on a journey of self-discovery, to leave behind the things that hold you back, the things that weigh you down. And then you'll find, when you leave those things behind, when you can move freely without things hanging on you or over you, you will find your true landscape, your true spiritual landscape. You will find the true you. And often we are motivated for these kinds of things. Usually it's not these kind of deep introspective things, but it's to go to the gym more often, or to eat less, or to do this or to do that. And often we are motivated and very inspired to do these kinds of things, but we wind up back at the same place. We go to the gym a couple of days and then we're too sore, or the gym is too crowded. We try watching what we eat, but you know, those potato chips are just, they always keep finding themselves on the counter as if we're powerless to stop it. And deep introspection. I tried to look into my soul, but it was too dark, it was too difficult. It was so upsetting that I just stopped it and just decided I'll be where I am. The month of Elul and the month of Rosh Hashanah are about change. We can pack our bags and we can get ready to leave, but we never leave. Or we end up in the same place. We have good intentions, but we're weighted down. And we need to learn how to put these things down. These things that weight us down, whether they're relationships, whether it's our own behavior, whether it's anything, whatever it is that holds us back and keeps us from moving forward. Put it down. Unload the past. Drop the bags. Let it go. And you'll find that you can move forward. Any journey, if you're loaded down with baggage, becomes overwhelming. But if you can put it down, if you can let it go, you can shape your own future. You can make your life the life you want it to be. You can change your life, you can change your place, you can change who you are and how others see you, but you have to want to do it. And the month of Elul for us is the month that we get to do it before the high holidays, before Rosh Hashanah, before the holiest days of the year. Got 4 weeks to do it. 4 weeks until the high holidays. I wish you all a safe and interesting journey. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. All right, Maury.
Kiddush.
Kiddush. It is time for Kiddush. Vayehi erev vayehi boker yom hashishi. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam. Vayachol Elohim vayom hashvi melachto asher asa. Vayishvot vayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa. Vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i. Vayikadesh oto vo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asod. Savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit. Hu yom techila lamikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashabbat. Page 282, we'll start closing out with Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula liotzer b'shit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo hosamanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'bonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים יוסד הארץ ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומי הוא אלוהינו einod emet malkeinu efes ulato kagahatu v'torato v'yadata hayom v'hashevota el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim mimal v'al haaretz mitachat me'od. Takatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch li'olam va'ed v'nehemar v'haya Adonai Lamelech al kol haaretz vayom hahu yihiem Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. This week we observed the following yahrzeits. Hannah Tepper, friend and relative of Valerie White, Sylvia Glazer, his mother, Bertha Hyman Oringer, Lynn Mayer's maternal grandmother, Milton Levine, Ethel's husband, father of Mo and Bernard, Regina's grandfather, Don Koros, Betty's husband, father of David, Mark, Bob, and Brian, Nathan Kaplan, Saul's brother, David Wolf, Barbara Levin's son. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all. May they all rest in peace. Warner's Cottage, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shnei rabba. Yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlik malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. V'agalav yizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shnei rabba v'barach Olam Olamei Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shmei t'kudusha b'richu. Ve'elam yinkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram v'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba bin shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'marav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. You may be seated. Just a couple of quick announcements. Service is tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and we're going to be celebrating Max Newman's bar mitzvah. He's been working very, very hard on this, and he's going to lead us in services. He's going to chant the Haftarah. He's going to teach us. So, come and support Max, and that's at 10 o'clock. Sunday morning, we'll have 9 o'clock, the Sunday morning service. And then Sunday afternoon, my classes are canceled because Max's bar mitzvah celebration continues on Sunday afternoon. And so it's quiet this week. The office is closed on Monday in observance of Labor Day. Labor Day already, wow. And then we're 4 weeks away from the holidays. So lots going to be happening during the upcoming weeks leading into the high holidays. But other than that, that's about it for this week. So we'll close out on page 321. 321, Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chefsa Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Tiklo Takol Levahado Yimloch Nahora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh Vehu yeh b'tifara, vehu echad v'yein sheni, laham shelo lahakbira, v'li reshit v'li tachlit, v'lo ha'os v'ha'misra, vehu eli v'chai go'ali, v'zurchet li b'yein tzara, vehu nisi humanos li, Menat kohosi bi'omekra bi'ahado avkid ruchi bi'eti sham bi'ahira bi'imruchi bi'viati Adonai li v'lo ira. Let's see if there's anybody saying hello to us this evening on the intertubes. I don't know. Let's see here. It's possible. Heather Watts says, Shabbat Shalom. There's Mom and Cliff. Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's Mom and Cliff from beautiful Huntington. So they've made it. Taylor McIntyre says, Shabbat Shalom, as does Donna Wilson. All right, friends. It is a beautiful night out there. A little warm, but still enjoy it. Stay hydrated, and hope you'll see you tomorrow for Max's bar mitzvah. I wish for everybody a Shabbat Shalom, a good Shabbos, and please be careful out there.
Good job. Rabbi, will the bar mitzvah be in here or in the main sanctuary?